Is this the Invisible Man 733 presents?
It is. Is this Mr. Shahid Ali?
Yes, sir, it is.
Oh, it's time for another segment of the Afrodescendant Travels. And you
Yes.
are where at this moment?
In Chile, Nairobi, Kenya.
Wait a minute. Chili is what you eat. Are you associating temperature of cold with Nairobi and in Africa, which is where Kenya is?
That is correct. Yes,
Oh my
sir.
goodness. That's something I find very interesting. What about any possibility for snow?
No, the winter. This is their winter time, and their winter time would be the equivalent of a fall, autumn weather on the East Coast in the United States. So your temperatures can fluctuate between 50 and 70.
Oh,
Um, yeah, in their winter, in the winter here.
oh yeah, I was about to say because there is where you are. So here it's 68 and
Right.
we go by Fahrenheit. So do you use Celsius there or Fahrenheit?
They use Celsius.
Oh,
Mhm.
interesting. Well, let's get the music started and then we can get into the conversation. Here comes the music.
Yes, sir.
Seems like just when the music gets very good, I have to stop and begin to talk.
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
one day I can get all the way through the music. Then they said, what kind of show is this? Is this a music show? Just a side note, we Afro descendants made such a contribution in the area of music to the world.
Mhm.
You agree or disagree?
I agree wholeheartedly. You can feel the influences over here.
Now quit
In
saying over here. You have to say where you are.
Over here in East Africa, Kenya, capital city of Nairobi.
What kind of influences can you feel in terms of music based upon what I said about Afro descendants and
Wow.
music? Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, just from hip hop to dance hall from Jamaica, reggae from Jamaica, calypso from the Caribbean, the Latin American influences, Afro
Hmm.
Latino influences,
Hmm.
uh, cultural dress of the young people. Definitely, you see it. You see reminders of home everywhere.
Oh, you see reminders of the Western Hemisphere.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah.
very interesting. Now, I thought you were going to say something about the importance of the drum. You want to talk about that in music?
Well, I'm not really musically inclined, but definitely the pace of the drums and the constant reminders of again of Afro descendant music from throughout the Afro descendant world, North America, Central America, South America. Just they just kind of overlay it kind of with their style of music, but
Hmm.
definitely the drum beat as a template.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because the drum symbolizes the heartbeat. It's the heart of any uh, trio, band, quartet, etc. The beat
Mm,
is what keeps you alive. As
mm,
we began the program, we began talking. I said, "Oh, let me come up with some music and get you know thoughts, mind, so forth, open. So yeah. Uh, well, I don't know if we got off to a good start, but I just can't believe you're talking about Chile in the area where you are, which happens to be Nairobi, Kenya.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
let me go on. You last spoke to us in the second installment. This is now the third installment of Afro-Descendant Travels, and we're going to get some people from other areas who are Afro-descendant because they're all over the planet.
Mhm.
You were planning on moving in. Is that correct? To a new
Yeah.
place?
Yes, sir.
How
I
is
have
it?
I have officially moved in and settled in, and to a one bedroom apartment north of Nairobi.
hmm
Um,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You are now in the suburbs of Nairobi.
yes,
Why
yes.
didn't you say that?
You
Interesting.
know, yeah. It's just kind of when you explain things, you kind of use the basic metropolitan area. So yeah, I'm technically out of the city limits, but it's still
Mhm.
considered Nairobi.
How far would you say you are from the heart of the city?
Well, about a good 15-20 minute cab ride.
Wow, that is
Mhm.
quite some ways.
Yeah.
How are the
Yes.
roads?
The roads are good. They're major construction, major infrastructure projects going on. Definitely a difference from the last time I'd been in Nairobi.
Which
Major
was
hi- 2013.
okay.
Um, Big changes as far as they're developing highway systems,
Yes, sir.
bus faster ways to get around the city, which I do agree is has as a major improvement. Um,
Okay.
and
Quickly.
there
Any
they
subway system?
no subway
Not
system, but
yet, huh?
no, not well. They there's a train, but it's not like a T or a metro in DC or
hmm
Mass in New
What
York or
about? I understand you spent time in New York. They have the famous A train.
I
Yes,
lived off
yes.
the A train line in New York. My high
Well,
school, there
wouldn't
was
that
a
be something to have a underground in Africa? Maybe that'll be happening sometime in the future. Who knows?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it, but they are doing something as far as on the highways. Something I saw in Bogota, Colombia, where they're going to have dedicated lanes devoted specifically for mass transit
Mhm.
vehicles. um, and it kind of operates like a subway system where these specific lanes only the mass transit vehicles, and they have stations and overpasses for the commuters to be on. So it in Bogota it worked effectively, and it'll work here also because there is a lot of people moving on work days.
Well, that was something maybe perhaps you could say. How many people are in the city to your knowledge? Have you checked out the statistics?
I believe statistically there are about 4 million in
Oh,
Nairobi. Yeah.
sure. Okay. But not you because you happen to elect out and move to the suburbs.
Yeah, so as far as like a metro area, probably about 10 million. Almost that's assuming. I don't know the specific numbers.
Okay. Well, that's
And
very interesting.
going back to your point about the music,
Mm-hmm.
reggae very big. So
We hear it from the cars and rooftops and all around you. Reggae.
where yeah,
How
it's
can you
big.
tell it's reggae? And you said
Well,
you're not a musical, what you call it, a person who can differentiate.
my I actually have dual nationalities.
Oh,
So
okay.
passports. one of them being Jamaican. My mother's Jamaican, so
Oh, so that makes you a
over Afro.
very much
Mhm.
an expert.
Well, I'm just very familiar.
What type of music that is the regular music that is played in Jamaica?
Uh, Mostly dance hall, which is
Not
more of
not
a
not reggae.
reggae. It's played, but it's dance hall is probably more popular at this point in Jamaica, but
Hmm.
worldwide reggae is really big. But reggae being founded in Jamaica, the Jamaican influence in Kenya, and people always, when I mention my Jamaican background, always remark that there are more people in the city of Nairobi alone than the entire nation of Jamaica. Jamaica only has
Wow,
3.5 million people.
my
So just
goodness.
worldwide reach, being such a small place, the influence. Even when I visited Ethiopia 5 years ago, the reggae is big. There's a big statue of Bob Marley in the capital, Addis Ababa. So it's amazing how a small group of people, at least from a music perspective, has influenced so many.
Now you said there's a giant statue of Bob Marley. Where?
In the capital of Ethiopia, Addis Ababa.
That's what I thought you said.
Mhm.
That is very interesting. Did you take any pictures when you were there?
I did, but that's so long ago. I'm not good at keeping pictures. I should do better, but sometimes I keep the memories in my heart as opposed to
Okay.
taking pictures, keeping
I
them.
just saw a picture of Mr. Marley, the late great Bob Marley. And
Mhm.
do you know what he died of?
If I recall, it's cancer.
Yes. Do you
Mhm.
know anything about how it took his life?
Um, I'm a layman. I don't know specifically, but I
Okay.
understand
Go
there
ahead.
was last minute, the actual medical treatment was done at the last moment, and he was trying to go more of a holistic natural route,
Sure.
and
And
you
that would
know
be based on his system of belief as
if
a
I believe.
Rastafarian.
Hmm.
Yes. Just last night, I was looking at some photos of people as they were near death or just about dead the day
Mm,
before and so forth. And it was an interesting list. And Mr. Marley, who is pretty much the king of the reggae,
hmm.
he, according to what was in the information, had hurt his toe. And he,
Hmm.
as you said, was holistic. And the cancer infected him starting with his toe and went through his body. And he had just performed in New York City to a standout crowd. And
Hmm.
he collapsed not too long after that performance, and they rushed him, and it was too late.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of that, have you passed many hospitals, clinics along the way as you are out and about in your new area?
Yes, sir. The city is, it's like any city, major city. There are the
Now, it
clinic.
cannot be like any major city when it's in the heart of Africa. You said East Africa, right?
Yes, sir.
What
Yes,
is the
sir.
tallest building that you would say exists that you've seen? Just your opinion.
Oh wow, downtown they have from older structures, maybe about 100 stories, maybe.
Wow.
Again, forgive me for anybody that knows more accurately, but
Well, we'll
just
give you a chance. You're new to the area, but
yeah,
that's pretty tall.
yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
goodness.
They have several of many of those.
Hmm.
There's and they're continuing to build. So you see some buildings that are some taller, bit high rises that are
Hmm.
older, and some that are very modern.
Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, so
Now
it's
you flew into the city, right?
yes, sir.
And this is something you had done before, right?
Yes, sir.
Are there any upgrades to the airport or the reception area there?
Yeah, the from the previous year, from the previous time that I'd come.
Yeah, could you
um
speak up a little?
yes, sir. From the
With
previous time that I'd
airport,
come.
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah,
no.
from the previous time there were definitely changes to accommodate, and I think a lot of that also was due to COVID.
Huh?
um
Wait a minute.
yeah.
Wait a minute. Slow down now. I
Mhm.
simply asked about the upgrade of the receiving center, which people call it an airport. I wanted to say an old word. Most people say airplane. Have you heard the word aeroplane?
Yes,
Why are
sir.
you laughing? You know anybody who uses that term, aeroplane?
I probably used that years ago. Yeah.
Language is interesting. But now, how does COVID infect the airport and the surrounding things?
Well, whereas you've flown internationally previously, you know that generally when you arrive as someone that is visiting a foreign country, there's generally only immigration to be considered. So whereas now there are several extra steps prior to you just getting that visa stamp. So in order to travel, I had to have a negative COVID test, and I
Oh,
had to bring documentation as
mm,
confirmation. And then there was also a general health exam, a questionnaire that you
hmm.
had to complete prior to arrival and show documentation of that also.
Did they do the obligatory temperature with the temperature gun or something?
They did, yes, sir.
Oh,
So the circuit was a lot longer than previous, and the infrastructure was built around that too.
I see. Well, I will say this much. As far as travel goes, it's hard being invisible, but getting booked on flights. No, I'm joking. It's a joke. Uh, so you live in the suburbs. You got your new spot. You furnished it.
Yeah, I did. I did. I did. I had to get the full everything, from plates, pots,
Mm-hmm.
pans, cups, refrigerator, stovetop, curtains, rugs. I had to fill it out completely.
Well, I wish you could supply some pictures for the audience, but uh, you're very happy with your new spot.
I'm very happy because it's mine.
Oh,
My
okay,
my first
okay,
place in Africa, my first, I'm independent, and it's something I pride myself on. It's just my little piece of Africa right now to start, and
okay.
then hopefully on to bigger and better things.
Now, speaking of that, I don't want you to jump the gun, but what are your plans for the future? If you would care to just share a little bit, not the whole vision, just what do you plan to do? Because you said you were semi-retired, and semi-retired is not full retirement, so there's got to be something you have in mind.
Well, I mean, there's so many things, man. I mean, it's in the dozens. It's at this point, just
Okay.
have my hand stirring a few pots. And one thing is to spread the message of Afro descendant unity on
Oh,
online. It being that we're in this new world of internet technology, the great work that you're doing, that's something that I can kind of focus on full time,
oh,
domestically
that's
here.
right. Yes, because you also are involved in spreading the message of us as being Afro descendants and bridging the communication gap. and the apparatuses again that you use. Could you name them again for the audience?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have the Angel Network, and spelled as it sounds, the word Angel Network, one word, on YouTube, and then on Instagram and Facebook, there's Angel Network 1977, and also teamandgroup.com, which is a website that we're, hopefully using to collaborate anybody that's in this space of the spreading and the message of Afro-descendant, declaring being Afro-descendant. We want to collaborate and partner with everyone in the space to give a bigger microphone for everyone, to get the message out, because it's time.
Okay. Well, have you heard of Wind Majesty Planet?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's Brother Ataz is definitely a partner in this work. A very smart, respectable brother.
First time author. Recently, I had the
First time.
chance to interview, and he should be coming on again. I spoke with him. He said he was going to grace us and drop some more knowledge on us.
Yes, sir. And I definitely look forward to listening to that brother. Brother and I go back, and definitely respect that brother, and all that he's
Okay.
done and what he will do.
Well, so you were at Lake Catherine? No, what's the name of the lake you were at? I don't want to say the
Lake
wrong thing.
Victoria.
Lake Victoria. Why would I say Catherine? That's interesting. Victoria. Would that
Yes,
be
sir.
named after the former British monarch?
Yes, the queen. Yeah, I believe so. That is correct.
Oh, Catherine would be the Russian czar's wife, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Catherine.
Tsarist, yes. So
Hmm.
you didn't go fishing when you were there.
No,
You,
no,
you didn't go swimming,
no, sir.
and that's because it's winter time.
No, actually, the winter weather is the autumn like weather is
Mhm.
solely in Nairobi or central Kenya for the most part. The other
Oh,
parts, the part where Lake Victoria is more tropical. So you have more of that tropical feeling, that it was hotter for sure. But the lake still has wild animals. I saw a hippo.
oh yes,
I,
sir.
I saw a hippo emerge from the lake, and there was no barrier between me and the hippos, so I was a little concerned until I was calmed down a little bit.
Can you imagine that? You're just walking by, checking out the water. Say, oh, it looks pretty cool. And then because they like to go down in the water, then come up real cool. Like I've seen them on television, but to see one in person, and you said
Yes.
that it's quite impressive to see one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and they're, like I said, in an environment where they coexist with humans.
Hmm.
uh, it was remarkable.
Okay. Well, so what's on tap for the next few days before we speak to you again? And my primary concern, hold on before you answer. My primary concern is, are you safe?
I am safe, but of course, you just have to make sure you are always on security, always on guard, and just don't take anything for granted, and always keep your mindfulness. The Kenyans are friendly, and Kenyans are very kind people. However, you still have to keep your mind serious and aware and on the alert. Uh,
Like New York City.
yes. Whereas New Yorkers may not be so friendly, right? In
What?
general,
I can't believe you said that.
as
New
a New
York,
Yorker,
haven't you ever heard that song? We were talking about music, about the native New Yorker.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. I
thought
remember
I
that.
thought everybody loves New York. That's what the Frank Sinatra's town.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's I was born there, I was raised there,
Yeah,
but
and you
you
said there are
couldn't
not
say
enough people
there.
there. You can't say that.
Yeah, okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good thing. It's
But
not
for
people. Go ahead.
this week, today is actually a holiday, a Muslim
Mm,
holiday. And Kenya has about 10% of Muslim population, majority of whom live in and around Nairobi. So today and tomorrow is actually a holiday, Eid, um,
go ahead.
which is it's fascinating to be in a country where a non-Christian holiday being
Mhm.
celebrated,
It's a
and
national holiday.
yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, so
Oh.
it's kind of festive, and people are going about and buying things and having feasts. Today they're actually fasting. The
Hmm.
Muslims are, and tomorrow they'll be doing feasts and buying new clothes. Like, it kind of has an Easter kind of feel, so a lot of food, a lot of
Oh,
new and stuff like that. So, yeah.
well, now, how are your language studies going?
I haven't done my official lesson over the last week, but just through kind of osmosis, total
Osmosis.
immersion in the,
Okay.
total immersion in a
Hmm.
society where most people still speak Swahili, and I
Hmm.
pick up things here and there. Uh, so I'm still learning, if not in a classroom.
Well, I think I recommended a tutor.
You
That doesn't
did.
hurt, or become friends with a native, somebody
I
that can
have
help
friends,
you.
and that's how it
Okay,
works.
well that does it. Uh, any future forays into, well, you don't like the city since you now live in the suburb. Are you planning on visiting anywhere else soon?
Yeah, yeah. So also wanted to bring to light that the largest one of the largest markets in East Africa is a neighborhood called Eastleigh,
Mm-hmm.
which is in Nairobi, and I went there, and again during this holiday period, it was busy, and there's nothing in America like it. So just
Not even
wanted
the swap meet in Los Angeles.
did talk about that, did we? No, no. The swap meet would be a library compared to Eastleigh.
My
Eastleigh,
goodness.
the intensity is. I'm telling you, there was just it was intense. Um,
Overrun with people and products.
they were and from all over East Africa. People were coming in, buying things, taking them back home to sell. So
Mm-hmm.
that I want to foray into that place again, just because I like the energy and just get some business ideas possibly. But to answer your question regarding to forays, on Wednesday I'll be going to the coastal city of Mombasa, on the Indian Ocean. As I previously said,
Mm-hmm.
been to the Indian Ocean. I'll mark that off my list. It's a tropical environment. It has more of the Arab, Muslim influence.
Influence. Okay. Well, with a
So
last name like Ali, I would imagine you would thoroughly enjoy it.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Try to look up the traditions, the cultures, and go eat some good halal food. I look forward to that. And I'm a
Okay.
big fan of fish. Like at Lake Victoria, I'll be enjoying the fish from the ocean
Yes, sir.
versus the lake.
Well, we are pretty well on time. We have about 40 seconds left. So give us your final word and how you feel about how everything's going.
So far, so good. No complaints. I'm just at the 30-day mark. So just continuing to get it well adjusted, learn different parts of the country, get my language up, and just get more familiar and as independent as possible. So I feel real good, and I want to invite everybody to come along with me on my journey. I look forward to hear more about other Afro descendant travels in Africa, and hopefully I can go out there and meet somebody else who's on the continent, and do some collaborations. Hopefully we do a conference call, or an simultaneous
Sure.
interview, something like that. But stay tuned, everyone. Love all the Afro descendant family. Get your passports. Stay plugged in. Share the information with your families, and make sure we're declaring ourselves Afro descendants. Tune into Invisible Man 733 presents. Tune into Angel Network. Tune into afrodescendant.org. Stay up to date, and let's get this message out to our people.
Well, with that, we have to go now. Thank you so
Yes.
much and be safe. Here comes the music.